Come in when I come in, right? Or we'll you stay.
And now, the award-winning Simply Youth Ministry Podcast. With Doug Fields and friends.
Hey everybody, Doug Fields and Jana here. And
yes!
Oh yeah, and
hanging out.
Matt and Josh are here as well. We are at podcast number what, Andy? You haven't
75.
75. Wow.
That is huge.
Why is the it's so what happened?
Every week if you
Oh,
say
smokes.
it doesn't matter.
It matters to me, Matt. Can I do some things that just matter to me, or does everything have to matter to you?
75 is a big deal.
It just has
It's a
to matter
milestone.
to logic and the common good. That's all.
Hey, you got a story behind the haircut?
And the shirt?
I just apparently I got lost from Little House on the Prairie.
Yes,
wrong with
that's
the
exactly it.
Yeah, we before
I'm
the
Michael Landon.
before the
Michael
podcast started.
Landon is right here.
Before the podcast started, Jana and Josh were going off on Matt's shirt, and Josh had a great line. I can't remember what it was.
That Matt looked like a frontiersman.
Frontiersman.
And he was going to grab his musket and go grab, get us some dinner.
Yeah,
That's
it was
right.
funnier the first time.
Yeah,
But
It's still
I'd debate
it's
that.
nice. It's
this was what was on the mannequin at the fat store.
Just because they
And
sell
What's the name of the fat store?
It's called
Husky Man
Casual Male is the store.
Where is that?
XL.
There's a lot of them. You know what's funny? I went to Seattle, forgot to bring a jacket, and it rains a lot there, so it was really cold. So I just typed in casual man, and it was like right around the corner.
Yeah, and you went and bought a
Male.
jacket?
Male, and I bought a jacket.
Yeah, how much?
Wow.
$50? $60.
He didn't even look. He doesn't know.
I know, that's
No,
why.
I did because I called me. I was talking to Mish.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I did know. Yeah.
Yeah. Did you call
But I
me?
didn't look
You
until
didn't
I
call
didn't
me
know
to ask
until
for permission.
I know he's telling it.
I was
Called to tell her the
freezing,
funny
Mike.
story about he forgot his jacket and he was in Seattle.
It's going to cost us, but money has no value to me, so...
Meanwhile, Nisha's like, she backed into our garage door for like a second time, and so needed to replace our whole garage door. So she spent more money than I did.
Oh, wow.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
The
That's
funny
awesome.
thing
How
is
was Seattle?
Misha didn't pack your bag.
The only time she doesn't pack my bag
Wait, Jana?
is when I travel alone. She doesn't pack my bag unless I ask her, and then I feel bad, so I don't ask her.
You don't feel bad.
You're right, but I still don't ask her.
All right, speaking of traveling alone...
So your guys' spouses don't pack your bags for
I
you?
leave tomorrow.
My
which,
spouse does all the time.
Jana, which now I'm thinking about. Leaving
You leave
tomorrow. It
tomorrow.
doesn't really matter here because by the time... Unless people in Dallas area get the podcast Friday night and go, you know what, I'm not doing anything tomorrow. I'll go to
First thing Saturday morning, I'm gonna go.
Watching live.
Yeah, that's
I'm
right, our
registered
live
for
crowd.
that, by the way.
You're registered for the PDYM in
Yeah.
Dallas? Would you like to go with me?
We already gave you your money back.
Oh, good. Yeah, because I have a volunteer who's kind of helping with some of the details and answering some emails and stuff
Yeah.
like that. And I said, hey, will you sign me up for this conference in Seattle? So she signs me up for the purpose-driven youth gathering in Texas.
Dallas.
And so I get this email from somebody, and I'm
now
like,
you got a sharp
Great
assistant?
volunteer.
she's very great.
I can tell.
Hey.
Go ahead. No, that's great.
Your story.
Yep, that was it.
That was
The
it.
end.
What conference were you at? You were at a...
Multi-site conference at Mars Hill Church.
Now, did
Oh,
they
cool.
say
Mark Driscoll?
at the multi-site conference...
Mark Driscoll, yeah.
Did they say Matt McGill is the future of Saddleback Church?
No, but everyone was thinking it.
Did you teach a seminar?
No, I didn't teach a seminar. Are you kidding?
You went to learn from somebody?
Wait, how
Is that
many
a guess?
sessions?
Is that a
How
guess?
many sessions did you miss?
You guys,
Well, let's
not talk about this.
because he was shopping for a jacket.
Okay,
Oh,
multi-church
gosh.
Couldn't
conference.
find it.
Couldn't find it.
How many
Find
people
it.
are there?
Guys.
How many people are there at the conference?
300 people.
Okay, how many sessions did you miss? That is a fair question.
There are probably, 5 sessions?
No, it was a really short conference.
3.
I missed-
One day.
I missed one session. I missed because I was in a 2-hour conversation with Mark Driscoll himself.
Oh.
So that was
wow.
kind of
Not
like
Mark
going to
Driscoll,
a
the
session.
clone.
Now, did
Yes.
So
did
you
he-
hang with the big wigs at
Well,
Saddleback
he's got
and at
clones.
Mars
He's
Hill.
got plenty of clones there. I think he's got plenty of clones on
Yeah.
staff at his church.
Yeah.
So it was not one of his clones.
It was legitimately
It was him.
Yeah.
Cool.
Did he cuss?
Oh, a ton.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A ton.
You're supposed to say blank, yeah.
I don't want to be censored again. So,
Fair
you
enough.
know.
And we're live, so.
Yeah, and then the next morning, I went to a set. No, I got there.
You went to Mark's
I was
house?
15 minutes late for the singing, and I was there the whole day.
Yeah.
So I missed one session.
Wait, being there on campus or being there in the place where the conference?
I was
would be?
in where the conference
Well,
was
that's
happening.
okay, but that's good. If you only missed one session, you got to hang with Mark Driscoll
Oh
for 2
yeah,
hours.
I mean that was definitely.
Are they doing multi-sites up there?
They are.
I would assume
are.
that's
'Cause
kind
they're
of a dumb
hosting the
question.
conference.
They're
Yeah.
hosting it.
Yeah, well, I didn't want it. You kind of left yourself open, but I'm
Yeah,
much
it's
more
too easy.
gracious.
Wow, since when? Did
Since
he help?
Driscoll taught me
Did he
that.
help you with that?
Actually, from what I understand, I mean, he puts me to shame as far as speaking his mind, and I mean, from what
don't-
I understand,
I've heard he's a sharp thinker, and I've just heard he cusses a lot. That's
and
all I've heard.
he gave his definition on what the church is, and it was awesome. Now I can't repeat it back because I can't remember it, and
It
it
was
didn't have
supposed
any.
to
It
swear.
didn't have
Wow.
any cuss words in it. But he's got a book coming out like next year. Like I'll buy the book because I was so impressed with what he said
That's
and what he
great.
had to say.
There you go.
That's great.
So
No way.
RW?
no, it's somebody we're picking up from the airport tonight.
What is going on?
who's doing it?
Uh-oh.
We got a
no.
brownout coming here.
Oh,
guys.
look.
Did you lose camera?
This could be a podcast first.
Okay.
Too much electricity
Wow.
being drained out of this room.
Where's the universal power backup?
You know what?
supply?
I've heard.
still alive.
I read about this that if somebody's voice squawks so much, it drains the battery.
It's like Monsters Inc.
Monsters. I was just gonna say that. Brazel.
Because there
You
was a question, or somebody made some comment that I'll get to it, but it said something like,
It's actually the opposite of Monsters Inc.
it said if you could move Jana away from the microphone and Doug closer to,
Well,
we
it's
can
because
barely
you keep
we
trying
can
to
barely
move-
hear Doug and
This
Jana.
one seemed good
Well,
today.
now your microphone is up by your eyeball. It's recording your
It's
eyeballs.
recording
Really?
every blink.
Yeah.
I can hear
How
it.
about that?
No, it's still horrible. Be a
there you
little
go,
bit
right
stronger.
there.
No, more.
More?
No, that's good.
No, you guys.
I don't know. This is
It's
what we
supposed
pay
to
Andy
be-
for, don't
it's
we?
supposed to be right here.
Do you make any money off this podcast?
Josh is the only one that makes money off
Yes,
this
I
podcast.
do. Speaking of that,
From Google AdWords.
oh,
Podcast.
Hey, the Twitter
Well, the
thing.
podcast
Let's talk about the
drives.
Twitter thing since Matt sold out and joined up after he made fun of it. I've got a great. I don't know if it's a great email. It's just definitely a great name. This guy. The whole thing is about Twitter.
I'll tell you
His
if it's a
name
good
is
email or not.
Troy Teeter.
awesome.
Come on, you got to give that. That's a great one.
No, it's not great. It's
Troy
good.
Troy Teeter writing about Twitter. I just want to tell Doug he's doing a great job in his Twitter posts. They're fun and give an insight into him and his life at times. I joined Twitter a few weeks back and have now gotten a majority of my students joined into our student ministry Twitter feed.
Nice.
What I found interesting is that when everybody is following others on this online community, it helps build community physically. We've shared prayer
Physically?
requests, we've had fun conversation, and enjoyed spending quote-unquote life moments, even virtually, together, when it would be impossible otherwise due to timing and locations. When students spread out among dozens of schools, it is an interesting experiment. When we come back together on Sunday or Wednesday, we find us talking about the conversations and picking up where we left off on Twitter. There seems to be less catching up to do. Just make sure that you have unlimited texting, because I found students turning it into a chat area through text messaging.
That is the truth. That is
Huh?
the truth.
How's our Twitter bet going, Andy? We're like week 2 now.
You're at over 570. I think you're at 575.
I'm at 575, and
To
Incredible.
my domination of
you know
Wait,
what?
is this
It-
week 2 or 3?
It's week
Oh,
4.
17.
this is 2 weeks.
So if you go
Okay.
to twitter.com/DougFeels, you can sign up to follow kind of the life stream of Doug.
Yeah.
And for those of you that haven't watched the show, there's a little bet on.
Yeah.
And Andy's going to win.
And I
And
have
then there's
been
a secondary bet.
I've
that
been
I would like to
Twitterific.
have more people following me than following Doug. That's
but
the
there's
other
no
bet.
bet. That's just
Yeah, there's a bet.
No, there's no bet.
How-
I didn't
how are you
bet.
doing on
That's
your
you're
Twitter?
just doing that in your own
Type
little
in
fantasy
followers.
world.
Type in stats and see how you're doing.
I've done stats so many times
No,
and nothing comes
here's the
back.
thing that's
Just
making me
stats.
laugh about this. You made so much fun. Maybe this is a pattern, because you used to make fun of Mac, and then you went out and bought one,
And then I went
And
back.
Chicago.
and then you make
Mish
fun of
doesn't have
Twitter.
one.
You can't. I can't believe you guys are doing Twitter, and now you're doing Twitter.
That's true.
Yeah,
All right.
exactly.
Here's a guy in France, Jim Watkins. He says, I live in France, so I'm never quite sure when you guys will be on, but because Doug twittered about the show starting, I was able to jump on right as you guys were
And I
starting.
woke up at 3 in the morning to do it.
The sound was excellent, but the video was weak. Is that always the case, or do you use a different camera for streaming and for the video version of the podcast? Is Jim Watkins on right now?
I don't know.
Why don't you ask? Why don't you ask your live feed?
Kent,
Nope, he's not there.
All right.
that's me.
That's me. You can only track yourself.
What do you do?
type
Stats?
How do we do that afterwards? All right. Let me
How do you
see.
guys
I
were
was
supposed
teaching
to
you
touch your
how to
phone?
get your stats on your phone. You just send the word stats to Twitter and it tells you.
All right. Hey, Andy, we've got our eBay just closed, right? I can't even remember what it was from last week, but it sold for a few $100. What was it?
The shirt I was wearing.
Oh, the Josh's
And-
shirt?
Yeah, a couple $100, not bad.
Treesus?
And Simply Ask It. And
Oh, and Simply Access.
Jesus?
I would never part with my Jesus in the Trees shirt. No way. No, it was the other one. Do you remember? No, it was this other one that had like the design
Oh,
around
that's
the
right.
top.
It was the
Yeah.
tight one.
Hey, but eBay, here's what we're going to do this week on eBay.
great.
The More Than Dodgeball shirts came in, and here's my idea.
Okay.
I say we keep those as just, we turn them into similar to a Matt McGill sports instructional video, that high-end collector item.
Oh,
Okay.
I
brother.
could not agree more.
Okay? Let's
Isn't
add
that
a little.
bad for marketing, though?
Hey, yeah, you're right. Oh, well, keep going.
Okay, let's
Dude,
turn
I
those
have
into
got
high-end.
107 followers.
That's awesome.
Dang it, so far away from 500, though.
Yeah, you could get that
And it
quick.
took you
have
10
huge-
minutes to find that information.
You don't have huge newsletter pushes saying "Beat Matt McGill" on Twitter.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So maybe
Dang
you
it.
could.
Yeah. See, here's the reason I don't want you to do that, because you know how competitive I am. I would stand up in front of our entire church and get them to
I know, but
follow
see,
me.
here's the deal, though. I was thinking about that. It puts you in a double bind, because if you beat me in a bet, you lose to Brazel.
Ooh, it's a lose-lose.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd rather
No,
lose to you
totally
than Brazel.
I knew that's what it was going to
But the eBay is the Helping Hurting Youth Worker Fund that we're doing, and I'm matching everything up
Which
to the
we
first.
really haven't defined what a hurting youth worker is.
Matt, there are so many needs. I mean, we've got letters in here of people who can't afford things, that are hurting, that are missing house payments. That
Okay, that's hurting.
So
Yeah.
when we get a request, we will match them up with some of the funds that we've raised.
Yeah,
Okay.
and
we've
personally, out of my bank
Hopefully they
account,
don't need
I'm
much
waiting
more.
for my 3 generous givers around me to join in on something. But the $1,500 I'm matching.
I will also match up to $15. Seems what? No.
Well, you're in second place so far in
See?
terms of the
Thank
generous
you.
giving.
Thank you.
Yep.
But there's a guy.
I will match $0.
There's Paul
Third place.
Charles.
I'm not a Democrat like you are. Just kidding. I don't even know what that
With
means.
an amazing little welfare. FDRs.
Thank
Paul
The
Charles
New
writes
Deal.
in, says, Andy, this guy that won the eBay winner. He said,
Louisiana Purchase.
thanks for allowing me to get the Simply All Access at a discount rate, because we put Simply Access into the bid for eBay.
I thought
And he
Ireland
says,
won.
I was probably going to purchase it at full price if I hadn't got it through the auction. So sorry about losing that $300 sale.
Oh, because the bid must have been under $300.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
you should have put it in as
So
the
he got
minimum.
all access
Plus
for
the shirt.
plus.
But we're giving it all to
But it's all
charity
going
and
to
us.
Yeah,
so,
yeah. Josh, I'm picking up your talent of looking for good deals while scooping up a free shirt.
I'll drink that.
Here's his quick question. We donated money several years ago to help youth workers who were affected by Katrina, but never heard any updates. That's Andy's fault. Do you have any stories you can share with how the money helped? Well, anybody who
Didn't
lost.
Brazel spend that to go to Hawaii?
I think so. Bought a new
Let's don't even
shirt.
joke about that.
Seriously.
Totally, that's a joke.
We Simply Youth Ministry donated all of the product. Any youth worker, we gave them a full library, and the money that came in from these youth workers that helped with that paid for the postage.
No, we ate all that. I don't think we absorbed all the costs, and then we ended up donating the money back too.
Oh, we gave the money to a church project,
Yeah.
of rebuilding a church.
Yeah.
Simply Youth Ministry donated all the library stuff. That's right.
We ate it all.
Yep, that's true. You don't like to. We don't.
We sent
So,
several hundred
do you have
kids
any
out.
stories?
We don't like to say we ate it all. We were blessed.
Had the privilege of
Simply Youth Ministry is blessed to be a blessing.
And is there any stories, or is it just all, hey, we did a good
It
job?
was so decentralized because all these churches were so fragmented. After.
Read, answer, no.
No, nobody gave us any feedback, honestly.
Hey, last week
Nope.
there
If
was a
there's
question
only
about
Twitter.
mentoring,
Yep.
and Jana, you brought up Bobo Shear's book. Chad Eddy from Langley, British Columbia, Says, in response to somebody who's inquiring about mentors training, Jana mentioned Bobo Shear's resource. I've used them and found them to be outstanding. It's called the Be With Factor. Please pass that on.
Consider it passed.
Also, I don't know if you can do this, but maybe Jana could be further away from the mic and put Doug closer. I listen to the podcast while I drive and can barely hear Doug, but Jana comes through
That's the second
loud
person that
and
said
clear, sometimes ear-splittingly clear. Thanks for the
Not sitting
podcast.
next to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to say, you have no idea
At least
how
you're
loud it
not
is in
married
here.
to her.
Hey,
Wait a minute. Did I say that out loud?
because didn't you dream about that when you were younger?
God.
When you guys were in high
Clearly.
school together?
Is
There's
it wrong for me to
still-
still dream about that?
Yes, it is, actually.
When you guys went to high school together, who had the crush on who? I can never remember.
Nobody.
Neither
You
of
always
us
say that.
had the crush
I
on
always
the
say
other
Jana.
person.
Jana had the
I
crush.
thought it was Jana, too.
That's
No.
what
I wasn't even here and I knew that.
Well,
No
let's tell that
way.
story. Here's a question about. This is from our buddy
It happened
Jason.
at the first staff
Jason
retreat.
Underwood, because Jason Underwood is he's pseudo staff for podcasts.
Yeah, he's practically in the room with us.
If he-
Podcast staff.
Yeah, he's podcast staff.
Okay.
He's
Yeah, we
our
should get a staff
he's
page.
our
He's the mic
regional.
runner.
He's our regional. But he said thanks
He's
for
my
next
Xbox
year's
Live buddy.
thanks for next year's microphone job. It's nice to know that if things ever
Like
fall
that other
apart
guy.
here at the church, I can still be of some use to you guys. I've already started a rigorous training program that should improve my microphone moving efficiency at least 15%. My mom is so proud. So clever. Here's his question, though. He went to Mark
He's an
DeVries'
Coaching.
workshop at the National Youth Ministry Conference.
Wait a minute, Mark DeVries or Mike DeVries?
Mark
Is there-
DeVries.
there's-
Gosh, McGill.
I'm
Mark
sorry.
Mark DeVries.
I didn't run this.
Mark DeVries
Conference.
is family-based youth ministry. Mike DeVries is a guy who used to work with Jim Burns.
Who does our graphics?
Are they related?
So insider.
No, they're not. Neither are Doug Webster and Dan Webster, but you ask that all the time, too.
Oh,
Wait,
goodness.
they're not brothers?
Hey, how's the new church going?
Okay, here we go. As a result,
You just got the tap on
Dang
that.
it.
Sorry.
he says he learned a lot about doing youth ministry with parents. He says, as a result, I'm planning a weekend camp for students and their parents, and it has been met with great interest. And let's pause right here. It's been met with great interest. That doesn't always associate to sign-ups will have great interest. Because our buddy Jeff McGuire, who's down the street at a great church in Mariners, did a father-son's retreat. And this is a large, very large church. And his idea was met with great interest. And they had seven dads go on the
That's
retreat.
crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
He said it was the coolest thing ever, though.
Sure. Well, I would too if nobody showed.
He just said it was a great weekend.
Yeah, sure it was.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Anyway,
That's awesome.
great interest doesn't always mean great signs. Nonetheless, there are some students whose parents can't or won't be a part of the camp like this, even though it will probably be free to all involved. How can I, one, encourage those parents to get involved, and two, include students whose parents will just not come? So how do I
Well, you
encourage
have
these
to
parents
know
to get
why.
involved?
The ones that won't come and get involved, you have to know why. I mean, if you know why,
Well, how would you do that, Matt?
well, I would ask people. I think I would find out. You know, I mean, if I knew who wasn't going, I would somehow try and figure out if I knew.
So
them, I'd
back when
ask
you were in
them.
high school, we're having a family retreat. I know you're living with your dad, and Andy McGill doesn't sign up. So do I get on the phone and say, "Hey, Andy, just curious why you're not
No,
coming?"
not Andy. You'd ask me, wouldn't you?
I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of reasons.
You just give out your home phone number, and my dad would come.
One of these days, we need to tell that story about Matt's dad calling me when Matt was in high school at 11
We've
o'clock at
told that
night,
story before.
drunk.
I don't think on the show.
Anyway,
he wasn't drunk.
Yes, he was. Here's one of the things I would say to Jason. I would take some people that from your church that are family oriented, that don't necessarily have, like Don and Carolyn Thompson at our church. Their kids graduated. They grew up in our ministry. They're great people. They would be fabulous to have as kind of surrogate parents around that camp. So when you're doing things family oriented, and a kid, if you're allowing teenagers to go without their parents, they're not feeling totally left
Like
out.
they're totally loners,
Right.
unloved.
Encouraging them to go. let's be honest. A first year of anything
Yeah.
Shunned.
is tough to get people to show up to things if it's the first year.
Have we done, though? We haven't done, like, father-son, mother-daughter. In fact, I just walked by junior high and saw something that they're doing a father-son trip.
Oh, cool.
But
yeah.
that was, like, I mean, we really haven't done a lot of that.
Yeah.
Let's just segment our church even more.
Silence. Okay.
So were you
No,
going to
I
lead
just was
into?
like- I just was. That's an interesting thing because we haven't really had a ton of experience trying to rally that.
Yeah. Well, we used to do a family camp.
Yes.
Kathleen and Dan Hamer did a family camp, but it was open to. I mean, the Fields family went, but it wasn't just parents
The
of teenagers.
regionals are pushing a family camp.
Are they?
Yep.
Great.
Yeah, family camp seemed younger to me than high school students.
Interesting.
Yeah. All right. Well, a lot of dead air here.
Yeah.
Next question. Thanks,
Mike
Jason.
McGarry.
Jason, we have no idea how
Yeah.
to help you.
Yeah. Let us know what you did.
Yep.
Norfolk, Massachusetts. Mike McGarry says, "I've come to the recent realization that I don't have any hobbies, and that even if I did, I don't really have anyone to do them with.
Logging.
I serve as the sole
Halo.
youth pastor in a fairly traditional New England church and grew up 2 towns away, and my wife and I just welcomed our first child, Matthew, 3 months ago."
That's why you have no hobbies.
Sounds like he already has a hobby.
Yeah. Who needs a hobby?
I named him after
Everybody
you. That
needs
was
a
nice.
hobby. Are you serious?
I feel like most of my time is taken up either with
World of
ministry or by family responsibility, both immediate family and extended family. And I don't really do anything for myself. Here's the question. What do each of you do to relax, and how do you free yourself from feeling guilty like you're letting someone down when you do something just for yourself?
See, it's not about hobbies.
I've been listening to you for a little over a year now, and I love listening because you remind me of the network of youth workers I'm a part of, complete with our own version of a Matt. Don't worry, Matt. You're still unique, though.
Aww.
I'm not worried about being unique or being liked.
But if he is in a network of people,
I think
That's
you
good.
need
then why? Yeah.
Okay, let's go around. Jana, what do you do for free time? What's your hobby?
Practice my
Go get my nails done and read a magazine. That's what I would do.
Yeah? Do you do that on your day off?
Each does that.
Yeah, a couple times a month, probably.
Dude,
Yeah.
I'm interrupting.
Well,
so
that,
sorry.
ladies and gentlemen, that's a first.
No, here we go.
Seriously.
You want to shake my hand?
Why?
Just do it. Trust me.
You're going on a diet?
Your new hobby?
Exercise.
Hey, did you
I'm
see
still,
the Biggest Loser
I'm
finale this
309
week?
I'm still 309.
You
I
can't?
can't believe it.
Why?
I don't know.
Why
I don't
not?
like it.
Really?
I'm like,
Since when?
forever.
The finale this week was
It was amazing.
unbelievable.
It was amazing.
I didn't see.
You
I
watched
mean,
it, then?
I don't
Yeah.
watch it either,
Don't like
but
it.
maybe it makes me feel
I
guilty
don't
for
know
being
why. I
fat.
just don't like it.
I don't know. Okay, go
I
ahead.
don't know
Sorry.
why. I just
Dude,
don't like
for
it.
no reason at all, bought Misha a gift.
What?
It's like the first time since we've been
For
dating.
no reason?
Can you
Dating?
believe that?
Since you've ever known each other.
Yeah.
Why?
Did you get her a coat in
Did you
Seattle?
really?
Nope. I got the coat for myself. I
Wait,
got
did
her
you buy
little
her a
necklace
gift that-
thing.
With a diamond in it? Sapphire?
How much you spend?
I spent.
Out
She
of
told me
yarn?
she didn't want
Say
to
it.
know.
Say it was
I will. It was somewhere between $90 and $100, like 93 or
Yes.
95. So it wasn't like.
Wow.
In Seattle, you bought it?
Mm-hmm.
That's
Oh,
hot,
that's
dude. Good
nice.
for you.
Yeah.
I thought
nicely
you'd be
done.
proud of me because I never. Mish likes to bank her holidays.
I know.
And it's
We've
the
talked
best.
about
Yeah,
this.
we've heard this a million times. All right, what do you do to relax?
What do I do to
Wait,
relax?
what's your hobby?
I'm always relaxed. Unless I'm in
Reading a
an
book in
argument.
a dark corner.
Yeah, I like to. I'll either read science fiction.
How many science fiction books do you think you've read in your life? Just guess.
You know what I'm doing? I'm stacking them all on my table this year, so at the end of the year I can see how many I've read. This is the first year I've done that.
But over your life, how many?
When I was in
science
high
fic-
school, I used to read 300 pages a day in class that night. So I'd read like,
Have you read over 1,000 science fiction books? in your
Except
life?
for the classes we
Easily.
were in together.
yeah, except for the ones where
Because we
Everybody
ditched.
was like, "Dear God."
Oh, brother.
Oh, okay, well over 1,000. Do you think over 10,000?
no, not over 10,000. No, but I can go to the bookstore, like if it's a big bookstore.
Just give me a
and point-
number.
Because
Just
now you have a hard
no
time
idea.
finding a book.
Let's say
Because you've read them all.
1,593.
Okay, so for
Perfect.
free time,
There
free
it is.
time, relaxing, curl up.
No, and we're not counting like family kid time, right? We're saying because I like to play with my kids when I get home at night and stuff
Yeah.
like that. That's
Yeah. Sometimes in the stage of life that all of us are in,
Yeah, you don't have
family
a
sometimes is hobby.
Absolutely.
Totally.
You know,
like
I mean-
it is actually.
Well,
have a
I'm
ton
thinking
of-
for me, free time, what gives me the most relaxation, going to one of my kids' games.
Yeah, you love that. I
Yeah.
mean, and then, which is great. I mean, I love spending time with Max and Mark. Morgan, he's only 9 months, barely exists.
Yep.
Yeah,
He's cute.
you gotta be at least 1/3 your way onto the age of accountability before I start talking to you.
What about you, Josh?
Love video games. I
have
love
video games.
movies.
How often do you play video games, though? Like every night? Will you
Every
play?
other night, probably.
Every other
Yeah,
night?
not every night, but every other night, probably.
Yeah.
Maybe 45 minutes to an hour, probably.
Yeah.
It's fun. Or 3.
Or 3.
Depending on what
It
night
just
of the week.
depends, yeah.
Did you remove me from your friends list?
No, you were on. You were on
Do you
the
play
other night.
video games more than you read your Bible?
Yeah. There you go. I work more than I read my Bible. I sleep more than I read my Bible. But I do read my Bible every single day.
Do you?
I think
All
about
of Philippians yesterday. Yeah. Just felt a
you
little dry.
flipped through Philippians.
Flipped it, and I was like, that's nice. It's a good book. Rejoice. Great. Got it.
All right. Should be in the can.
If I had more time, I would like to fly remote control airplanes. I have one, and it's actually illegal to fly them around here. The runway was closed down, so you can't use it anymore. But
Yeah.
I have one. I think it'd be fun to do. I just don't have time for
It's
it.
my wife.
You know,
You can't.
I can get it from my wife.
No,
if it was
you can't.
Kathy, you would get it.
yeah, well, there's difference.
Mish.
Okay.
She's
Take-
listening.
Take your
Podcast,
microphone
what's
off.
up?
You remember
Yep.
where I used to live
I just
at
figured
Walden?
it was important.
Yes.
that you're wrong.
That lake. My father-in-law bought me a remote control boat. Hey, Chris, can we just turn his microphone off right now? Bought me a remote control
yeah.
boat, and I used it on the lake. Andy, do you remember that?
Huh?
Did we ever go out there when you were in high school and just go boating? Yeah, I only did it like twice, and then I crashed the boat.
Yeah, not bad.
Yeah. I
But
couldn't-
doesn't your father-in-law
did it?
fly planes?
Right, I
like
went
he
with your
loves.
dad.
Yeah.
My
Yeah.
father-in-law before, and it was so fun.
yeah, I'd rather be shot in the kneecap than
Fly a remote plane.
Yeah.
I tried to fly a remote control plane and it crashed, and then I burned my house down later that day.
that's true.
With a pan of burning oil, or was it chili? I forget.
French fries.
French fry oil.
So yeah, but right.
And
but
the
honestly,
turtle.
life stage. I'm going to the pool. I'm going to soccer games. I'm going for family dinner. We have family dinner every
Yeah.
night. So a lot of my free time is loving on the kids, putting them to bed, trying to spend time with my wife, going to bed, doing it all over again.
Yeah.
So,
Blogging, you blog.
but
That's,
honestly,
you
blogging
enjoy
is
that, don't you?
huge.
Yeah.
I love it.
You have a great blog, more than
I love it.
dodgeball.com. A very rare T-shirt.
Very rare,
Yeah,
exclusive. almost.
I mini blog with my Twitter.
You do.
Do you know that Josh has removed all his
Microblog.
followers? Josh doesn't follow anybody on his Twitter feed anymore?
Yeah, how come?
Not even me?
Nope, he doesn't follow anybody.
Oh, you are a dirty person.
All right, I'll follow
Wait,
you right
why?
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 now. Here's what
Because-
happened.
Okay.
Josh.
All right, I
Let him talk.
Thanks, Andy. I haven't told anybody this. I didn't know if you knew. I was getting so many emails and so many Twitters from so many people that I could not. It was a whole new channel of disruption. So instead of looking like if I got a text from you, I would drop everything and respond to your text. But instead,
Oh, brother.
wait
He
a second.
won't answer his phone, but he
there's
might text back.
37 texts, and yours could be in there somewhere.
Hey, you got to be judicious.
Yeah, but so you had the Twitters go to your text?
Oh, and it was
My
awesome
Twitter goes
for
to-
like the
I-
first week or two.
How many
and
do
I
you
just
subscribe
couldn't.
to?
No, well, your Twitter
Yeah.
goes to my text.
Right.
You don't subscribe to me, do you?
No, I don't.
Yeah.
Oh, you are.
Jana knows more about me now because I Twitter than
I know,
working together every
seriously.
day.
Which, by the way, lemonade and cherry coke, disgusting.
It was
But-
awesome.
but
So
his doctor's appointment
disgusting.
yesterday,
The
Come
soda
on, that was-
version of Arnold
I was
Palmer.
thrilled knowing that
Come
Doug
on.
was at the doctor.
I love it. I love it. I
I'll
might
get back
keep
to
Twittering just to keep you guys entertained.
I know. That's exactly what's... Okay.
I'll go back to it. Here's the deal. I just seriously, I already have email. We just started base camp, which by the way has been
Which is so funny to hear your team talk
I
about.
know.
Hilarious.
I love that because I've been getting these emails, and all of a sudden it says use Basecamp for that.
Yeah.
It was awesome, and it's really become a great tool for us. But this Twitter
And that started
noise,
because of the podcast.
Honestly, I took two things that day. One is our response cards go to small group leaders, and two, we need base camp. They're both in play right now because of the show.
That's great.
Yeah,
That's
so
great.
anyhow.
Hey, let's go to our one phone message. I'd have you call in at 949 something 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 something
But it's
something.
not on the
We don't know
board.
the number.
Andy didn't write it on the
Andy.
board.
Nobody calls anyways.
It is episode 75.
Why don't we flash
have
the
a
number
caller.
up on the screen?
Yeah.
Can we do that?
He will.
Oh, he does do that.
Oh,
So
you
if you're on the audio podcast, good luck.
All right, here we go. Here's our one call we got
People
this
do
week.
not know what to say.
Hi, Doug and friends. My name is Leanne, and I am calling because several weeks ago you were talking about attendance records and how to keep track of students. And I've gone through a bunch of different software and have found that the most effective way is to have information cards on each student, have them fill it out on their first visit with their name, address, email address, phone numbers, school, t-shirt size, any kind of information that you'd want from them. And then each week they pull it out and they put it in a box, and that box represents that they were in attendance, and then I track that in an Excel spreadsheet. It seems a little archaic, but it's wonderful to have a card on each student so that I can be praying for them or writing them little notes during the week, or if I need to order t-shirts rather than calling them, I can just look it up on their information card. Their birthday is on there, so I can send them birthday cards. That's been the best way that I have discovered for keeping track of students. I hope that helps y'all and maybe somebody on the podcast.
Goodbye.
The end.
So basically, she's talking about the Dewey Decimal System.
I love that.
Of course, it's a female though who says capture their T-shirt size.
I love that. Though.
That's
You
good
know,
idea.
for
You know
camp,
what?
you know their
Please
size.
don't be genderific like that.
No, that was good thinking.
I
Thinking
just
ahead
feel
and
like I'm lessened as a male because of that.
Yeah.
But you know what
Well,
I
so
loved about that
sometimes
whole
exactly.
thing, even heard it kind of admitting it's a little archaic. I just love the tone. I mean, that was a pastoral tone right there.
energy towards
Oh
it.
yeah, I write them letters. I can pray for them. I just
know their
that's
birthdays.
good. You know, that's good youth ministry. And it's funny as youth ministry gets more and more. It
Savvy.
seems like institutionalized, and we got degrees
Base
and.
camp and all sorts of crap.
Well, we got
Impersonal, though, it could be,
everybody
yeah.
and their brother writing books on philosophy of it and stuff like that. I just keep going back to that's good youth ministry, caring for kids, loving on kids, knowing who's there,
Yeah.
paying attention to them. That's really good youth
Using
ministry.
Excel, which is free, response cards, which is free. I mean, it is a good.
Excel's
low budget,
free?
low
But I couldn't
Well, standard
picture what if she's saying each day they come in, they go
They
into
take their card
so one
and-
they've already filled out.
That's what it sounded
so
like.
it's just kind of like throwing it into a box. Then she's got a box over here of everybody who wasn't there, so she knows who wasn't there and who was. That's kind of the image that I got.
Cool.
Mark
That's what it
McLean from Lexington, Kentucky,
Marco.
says.
Derby.
We are about to break up our group into junior high, senior high for Sunday school.
Good.
What would be a good curriculum to start with? Here's where you add your SYM shameless plug.
That's right.
Did he really
Good
write
timing
that?
there.
As he holds
Yeah, he
up a
did.
resource, we point at the banner.
I'm sorry. Congratulations, you're gifted. Just came out. Andy, first day of sales yesterday.
It was really good.
Good. We got so much curriculum. Who knows how to answer that? You look on the website. But here's the question: I have seven or eight adults. Well, we get asked the curriculum thing a lot. And honestly, do any of us in here know much about other curriculum? I mean, group has
Right.
curriculum. You specialties has curriculum. We have curriculum.
It all sucks. Just kidding.
Except for what you
If
wrote.
Matt didn't write it, it
Yeah.
sucks.
Mine sucks too. We don't sell it.
I have
don't we?
7 or 8 adults that help on Wednesday night, crowd level service. Some are very relational. I'm wanting a senior high teacher, but I don't feel like any of these would be a good teacher in that format, or they're already teaching adults on Sundays. Do I keep looking for a great teacher with relational skills, or do I take a relational person that the students already know and help them become a better teacher?
That's a good question.
Well, I would say, Mark, I'd say yes to both of them. Do you keep looking for a great teacher with relational skills? Yes, keep looking. Or until you find a person that has the gift of teaching, take a relational person that students like and help them become a better teacher. Yeah, that doesn't have to be an either or on that one.
Yeah. Well, and you could do some of the teaching on DVD and let the relational youth worker be the relational youth worker and just have the training pop in a DVD player done. And then you actually have a great teacher and a great relational youth worker that way.
We didn't do this product. I mean, I get people telling me thank you for this more than anything when I'm out around the country.
Fish still?
The Bluefish's Revolution and
They're
Velocity
really good.
and things like that, they did a great job. I mean, I'm the speaker on it, but
They're really good.
they gets a lot
there
of
you go.
most people who don't have either the time to write it or create it or even spread out where people don't have the gift of teaching, pop in a DVD and
Right.
let
Yes.
somebody do some of the teaching. Then you do what you do best and get kids talking. He wrote, as I type this letter, I feel like I know what you're going to say. Matt, smart comment about I must suck as a leader. Josh will start by saying,
Whatever. Have I said that about anybody?
"Oh yeah, regularly."
I say you suck as a leader.
Well, maybe not those words,
Yeah.
but
Probably more like
I say
incompetent
if
and
X
George.
is true, then you suck.
Which is totally different than you.
Totally.
Josh
Totally
says,
different.
Josh will start by saying, "Don't you think?" Jana something nice. Doug attempted humor.
Oh,
Oh, so
that might
painfully.
be the
Wow.
most painful of all of
Yeah.
those.
Attempted humor. That's
Yeah.
right. You know what? It is. It's.
Maybe
He
that
didn't
was
say it
an
was a
attempted
failed
humor,
attempt. He said attempt, and then
Yeah.
maybe some of them were
No,
though.
successful.
that's
Yeah, maybe
all right.
you're very funny. Twice. Sure.
No, I think
No,
it's me.
he said I was being nice.
Oh.
Yeah, Jana something nice. Doug. It was my attempted
Oh,
humor.
good. I felt bad for her. You're
Yeah,
fine. You
yeah.
let her roll for back.
Yeah, that was a worthless question.
They love,
Yeah.
calling, they love calling Jana Jane, though.
Oh, hilarious.
live- on the
That's
live
become
show?
a good bit.
Jane.
Why is that so
And
funny,
her
though?
Tarzan.
But is this our
Because
last?
it
Whoa.
drives you crazy a little bit.
Is this our last
does.
time
Well,
together?
Wait, right? 'cause
I
we
have-
It is.
Is
big
this our last time
to go.
together? Because if Matt misses next week because he's
Yeah.
traveling with Rick Warren,
Pastor Rick
the
Warren.
future of the church gets to travel with
with the
present day
future
of
of
the
Christendom.
the future with the evangelical Pope, who will sit in first class. Maybe as you walk by him, you could grab some of his food off his plate as you sit in the back of the plane.
in your
No,
one
you
of
know
the
Matt.
three
He'll
seats.
just follow him. Oh, I'm not supposed to sit here? You didn't buy me this ticket, too?
Yeah.
That's only happened to me with you a couple times.
That's how I know it.
I've
Oh,
seen first class
man.
before.
I've walked past fields in it.
Hey, here's the difference between me and Rick, though. I've never ever in my life paid for first
Free
class.
upgrades. United points.
Does Rick
I've
fly for
earned
first
my
class?
upgrades.
I'm sure Rick. I mean, he does.
You don't know that he flies for first class, do you?
Oh
Private
yeah,
jets.
yeah. He flies.
I was with him.
Dude, you
on
sold
a jet
25 million copies of a book. Do you think you're?
Misha's dad never flew first class.
That's
Well, that's why Misha counts the pennies.
why you have a nice jacket. I hope you're happy. Wait, so with Matt gone and Jana,
Okay, and then
soon
Jana,
to-
you go the next week. The following week is the
Yeah.
C-section.
Yes.
so
Yeah.
this show's gonna really
We could just do the podcast
from the
on
hospital.
Friday.
Oh,
Jana can call in through Skype.
No.
hi guys. Yeah,
Yeah.
C-section's
Well,
almost
we
over.
could do it on Friday when Matt's back. It just makes it more difficult for Chris to get it up to on Friday night.
You can just
No.
upload it on Monday.
It'll be Monday.
Yeah, we promised people Friday night.
Well,
Work late,
see.
Chris.
you've never
Sorry.
broken a promise before.
We promised people a good podcast, too, but
Oh,
never.
Attempted humor.
We've never promised that. Just enough youth ministry so you don't feel guilty
That's right.
for listening.
All right.
All right, here
All
we
right.
go. Moving right along.
So
Okay.
I don't have enough time
email
for
with
this.
pictures.
Moving
Here
right
we go.
along.
Okay, here's a question by Todd Ianata.
We got a lot of
Hi,
stuff
Todd.
to get to today.
Ianata.
From
we're not very many
no.
piles,
no.
though.
He says, for the first time, we had to deny some students from going on our mission trip this summer because we had too many apply for the trip.
Awesome.
One parent flipped out and threatened to leave the church.
Awesome.
I can see that.
The organization we use has a limit of 25 total students for each trip, which I really like because of the dynamic of the trip. Have you ever had this happen before? What steps would you take in the future?
Threaten to leave the church.
Yeah, those are the
That's
ones
a
you.
deep
Those are the
Christian
ones you
faith
want
right
to.
there.
Anyway.
Yeah, those are the ones you don't want to talk into staying.
Yeah. Well, here.
And they probably tried to turn it in
But
after
this,
the due
at
date.
the very least, this is true. It hurts for your kid to be rejected from going on a trip.
Yeah, but here, Matt and I, we used to talk about this a lot because
It does?
we.
Not for that reason, though.
Well,
I don't know.
let's go to the idea
Camp
of.
fills up and you can't go to camp.
Yeah, that's a bummer. But think about
Those are
what it does for
bummers.
the ministry, though, Josh. Because all
Oh,
of
I
a sudden
agree.
you got camp after camp, event after event, where everybody signs up.
Buzztastic is what I like to say.
Oh,
Everybody
gosh.
signs up last minute.
Yeah.
And then you're scrambling for transportation and all the stuff that
Rearranging
you do
rooms
that
and
one
finding
I
more
agree.
leaders and
When
So sell it out.
When you get one trip that sells out, and then all of a sudden kids go, "Oh gosh!" When he said you better sign up soon, because we say that all the time.
All the time.
Bring
We
your
don't really
friends,
mean it.
sign
That's
up
the problem.
soon, Yeah.
No.
I mean
that
it.
all of a sudden a camp sells out. I actually think that's a great thing. Now, if you had several students that couldn't go, you might want to think about going to another deal, or send a volunteer with those students and have them join another group. Because chances are, if this company only lets you bring 25, now I don't know the dynamics of it, but you can apply this to any camp situation. You could then, if you wanted to, you could say to the kid, hey, you can still go to camp, but you got to be with this other group, which I know is not the same, but you can still go. Yes, you can drive up with it. You just would have to go with the church.
But doesn't that kill some of the momentum that you have by dividing your group into
Sure.
two and then?
Yeah,
Well,
but
we have had that last summer.
What are the
Well,
options?
I'm-
The options is the kid stays home. So
No, I
at
definitely
least
get
you're
it.
saying
If
you
it's
can
the same-
have the camp
If
experience.
it's the same trip, I think that's good. But if you're going different trips or different times or
We're going
different
to
quality,
Zimbabwe. You're going.
yeah, you're going to
Tanzania.
Mexico. Have fun.
Yeah,
we'll be in
but
Africa. Have fun in Mexico.
If it's 25 students and it happens one time, then
Yeah.
you go, hey, that helps your ministry, in my opinion. The word gets out. We better sign up now.
Yeah, you
if you
snooze,
plan it,
you lose.
if you plan it this summer and now half your kids can't go, well, then you chose the wrong camp.
Right.
Or, have an alternative. We did that the last few summers.
Right.
We couldn't get everybody into Hume Lake, and so we opened up another summer camp that kids could go to.
Just use it as an example of Matthew 25. If you try and make a decision for Jesus after the sheeps and the goats have split, you're not going to make it in. Sign up a little earlier or go to hell.
There you go.
Somebody had their devotions today,
That's right.
or once.
Okay, anybody
Or
else?
still
Anything
the
else for
same
Todd?
passage around.
Jana, you got any administrative?
No, I think I'd rather everybody be signed up and everything all ready to go than scramble at the last minute to create that culture rather than the scramble culture.
Yeah, and when you're starting, so let's even think more transferable principles in youth ministry. When you're starting to go to a camp, and when you sign up for the camp and they say, how many do you think you can bring? Which is always the death blow because you feel goofy because you say we can bring X number and then you're scrambling, you're offering free, you're losing money for every kid that doesn't go. Shoot low that first year, let a few people have a great experience, PR. I mean, if you're in it for the long haul, and sometimes you have to do extra things. We've in terms of an additional. We used to do the boys and girls trip, remember?
Oh, yeah.
And
Or
it
the
was
surf
like
trip,
only
or-
a few people that got in on the front end of it got in, but those were the ones who were leaders. They were rewarded for it. They knew the early sign-ups were coming. We had talked it up, but we also provided other opportunities for those who couldn't go.
Don't you think that if they said this ahead of time, hey, we have 25 spots, and when those are gone, they're gone, that would have relieved some of this pressure too.
Yeah, and he
Rather
may have
than
done
be
that.
like, right, and I hope so. But I just think if you offer a small trip especially for a large youth ministry, exclusivity, you could have some issues there. You gotta be careful.
Hey, when you send in questions, send them to podcast@simplyyouthministry.com.
Yes.
Not that I'm still using questions we got this week. There was a couple from last week that we didn't get to. Let's go to one from last
But
week.
keep sending them because we lose them.
Yeah.
When we say we mean
really means
Josh.
the elaborate filing system of
Josh,
EMF.
Brazel, and Doug.
no, it's Josh pretty much. I mean, once I get them, I lose them, but it's just getting them.
But you got them today.
I had to
this
go
morning.
into Josh's
Today?
office today.
Right.
I had to log on to his computer.
No way.
And because he forgot
right, no way.
Okay, well, I had to drive to the church office.
He
again.
drove by, I put him in his car, and then
What I don't understand is why they just don't get forwarded to an account that you could check.
Yeah, we need to forward it. No, they do not. They
Well,
do.
you can check it. I just read it right off the internet. You could read it off the internet too. I just print them right off the internet.
Just give them
Really?
the log on and the
Well, I
password.
can do that.
You don't
Okay.
want to do that.
I
You'd
don't
have
want
to
to-
print
No,
them.
no, no,
You'd
no.
have to be near
Let
a
them try
printer.
it. Let them
It's
try
just
it.
annoying. Let me do it. It's no big deal.
Oh, yeah. You know,
It's a terrible system.
And
pretty
but
bad.
do you like doing them because you filter out the questions that say
Oh, yeah.
Josh
That say,
is
like, oh.
retarded?
but he could still
Yeah,
filter.
people love me now.
But he could still filter it and then you check it.
But
No, but that's
you know
not.
what? Here, let's do this.
something's going on with the questions that Josh, because Josh
Let's
is
set up a
typically
Hotmail account for him.
The master
wait.
delegator.
Yeah, he's typically quick to dish off
Yeah.
questions. So are you keeping us from some
No,
really
it's
good?
a pain in the neck.
Huh?
It's
No,
pain.
no, he's keeping. Wait, let us finish. Are you keeping us from some good questions?
Not from
Not
good
a
questions.
chance.
Oh, you're keeping it from the.
I protect you from whatever I don't think you should see. So you'll never
Do
know.
we get criticism?
Not much, to be honest.
Oh,
very
gosh,
rarely.
I want to hear the
But
criticism.
here's the deal. It's just an annoying process. So let me do it and you don't have to worry about it.
But why don't we set up a Hotmail account so you can forward the questions that he can,
That's true.
and in that way you just check
Why
the
can't-
Hotmail whenever
Why
he
don't I
wants.
just hand them the printed emails though?
Why does Doug?
Because he's got to drive to the office. You got to remember to print them out. That's
Yeah.
so web.
Yeah, but then
1.0.
Doug's printer has to work, and
Yeah, why don't we
And
talk
Doug
about
has to
this
know what a
afterwards?
printer icon looks like.
Oh my gosh, he just was. You guys, I just got to say, you guys are all 100% retarded. Because he was willing to log on and get them electronically himself.
There's no way.
And you didn't hop on that train.
4
You
minutes.
deserve the
And-
hell that your life is.
Andy and Josh, I will be honest, they're better at saving me time than you are.
Always have been.
And in light of this, I'd like
Yeah.
to up my donation from $15 now to $20.
Yeah,
I will now give $20
when I think
in
about
cash.
over the life of working with all of you guys,
Oh,
they do a
shivering.
better job of saving
wait,
me
where do
time.
I fit into that?
Oh, you're the best.
Oh, okay.
You're the best.
But we're
There's
right.
nobody better than you at that. But when I think about the three of these guys,
We're pushing though.
yeah,
We're right.
Josh
We're
is really
close.
good at that. Josh, yeah, Matt, you add time to my life.
Quality time.
Because
You
usually
actually
the
take away
solution is
valuable-
broken. He breaks the solution halfway through, and
Yeah,
then
hey
he's
Matt,
got
here's what
to
I'm thinking we
go
can do.
back to the
Can you make this
store.
happen? ABC comes back now. I've rethought A, B, and C, and here's what I think we should do: A, B, C, D, E, and F. And F is going to require you to do this. And Matt, we've been fine.
It's cool.
7
You have
days
robots
later.
working for you.
Caring, gentle robots though.
That's right.
All right,
Filtering. As well.
Abby Villaquente from. How bad do you think I just hacked people's
I was gonna
names?
say, that
poor Todd guy.
The last couple have been pretty
Well,
rough.
look at this last name though, Todd
Oh wow.
Ianetta.
Yeah. Not real.
Anyway, Abby Villaquente from Timberline Church, have no idea where. We are trying to develop better ways to give our youth volunteers feedback and hear more feedback from them. We regularly have conversations in our pre-service meetings, and then we have them fill out some surveys, but we're considering setting up a yearly one-on-one meeting with each volunteer. Do you guys do this? If so, how do you structure that meeting? We feel like we've opened up some good pathways for volunteers to give us
You're not meeting with
feedback.
them once within a year.
You want me to finish the question, or you want to just start answering?
Or do you
whenever-
want to tell her she sucks?
Whenever the impulse
Wow.
hits. But we know that they. It's just an example of you saving me time right there. You just added more to it. Beyond thank yous, words of encouragement, and appreciation, how can we give them regular feedback? I think sometimes we shy away from honest evaluation because they're volunteers rather than hired staff. We've been struggling with how to improve this process. Any advice?
Fluff.
Abby, people need constant feedback. Josh,
Yes.
how do you do it?
Well, we're working on this, but it's a good way. We meet with our volunteers once a month, and so we connect with them and talk with them and go over their rosters, and we do some official training. The difficulty
But you
is
you actually meet with them more than once a month officially.
right.
But you're loving on them and coaching them and
in real time,
Yeah.
all the time. But the difficulty is we're not in the small group all the time, listening to them teach. So we only hear kind of third party from a parent or from a student, and that's tough. That is tough to know what to do with that information. But we do our best.
Well, the type of feedback that people, we need to be given the encouragement, the letters, the thank
All
you,
the
the
time.
affirmation, even I think coaching in the moment when you see something
Right.
either really good or really
Or
bad.
you hear a phrase that you're like, "What? That hit me wrong."
Yeah, or just to pull them aside. Gosh, I so appreciate the way you went over and greeted that kid that was by themselves, or
Yeah.
coaching them on something they've done wrong, but something formal.
Right.
Matt, now why don't you respond because you reacted? So
No, that's it. But I needed to say.
what did you say? Because I wasn't paying attention.
Oh, you heard me.
No, I didn't.
You have to watch the podcast. No, if you go more than a year where you don't have a one-on-one conversation with your volunteer, you're just missing the boat.
So how would you do that? You just make sure you schedule an appointment with them. You keep track of it in your calendar. You have
You can use
You
the
have
Dewey
March
Decimal
is-
system if you need to.
March is
Outlook,
volunteer month.
Google Calendar. Whatever.
But you would have
But
a
we would-
one-on-one meeting
well,
with them
wait.
and get their perspective on how things are going.
That seems a little overwhelming, though, to some people because they're thinking, how are you meeting with every single volunteer? And we have kind of created a little bit of a care structure where we have some coaches in place and we have some, area leaders in place or whatever. So it's not necessarily, there's multiple people touching, not just.
Right. So small group leaders report to kind of a house leader who reports to a community leader who reports to maybe the small group's pastor or the youth pastor or whatever. So yeah, you have some layers of care in place.
But that's when you get for more than 5 or 6 volunteers.
Absolutely.
Yes,
So if
totally,
you just have
but
a
I just
handful
think
of
if-
volunteers, that's the first Tuesday of every month, I'm going to meet with a volunteer for lunch.
Sure.
and
I'm gonna pick those
I'm
four.
gonna review them.
Yeah, exactly. No, I think a formal review process on what you expect is good, because too often we throw a small group leader in or a weekend leader in, and they don't totally know what is success, what are my skills, we think they're going to do a good job, but we don't totally know. So pulling them aside, pushing pause, having a good
So is this
conversation
about
would be
two-way
helpful.
conversation? From the leader to
Or
the
is it about
volunteer,
formal
and,
review?
and from the volunteer, is it about
Well,
Only getting
what she was
feedback?
talking about, I think, is she was getting feedback.
And
She wanted
needed to-
feedback from them.
Yeah, so we're not talking about the training part. Okay.
Cool.
I also had an idea for next Thursday, Andy. Why don't Kathy and I do our first marriage and family podcast? No, we'll do it Thursday while Chris is here, and we can post that one
Fun.
on Friday night, and then we'll do one on Friday when Matt's here.
Yeah,
And we'll do why don't we all bring Jana a present?
that's a great idea.
Oh,
Okay.
nice.
Okay,
Thank
you
you.
can't
presents.
You can't spend money.
Magazines, manicures.
You can't spend money
You
on it.
God
have to
dang.
create it with your bare hands.
You have to make the present. Okay,
It's
You
a
have to-
craft
From all
present.
natural materials.
Yeah, you have to make the
Or
present.
So
Janet-
Matt's shirt. I'm gonna get his shirt.
So muslin shirt.
All right, so something having to do with birth.
I have man hands, not bare hands.
I might.
right.
I might knit you something. Just kidding. I don't.
All right.
A row.
While I'm
one
watching
row.
American Idol tonight, I will make you a scarf.
All right,
and
so
your
you got to
baby.
hand make a
Layla.
present. A present. Can you pull that off?
Lola.
Of course.
All right.
Baby
I
Lola.
already
Craft
have your
master.
idea. I already have your idea.
Craftmaster 2000.
I already have your
I'll have
idea.
my own idea.
Well,
All right, say it. Or you wait till
no,
off,
you know
off
what?
the show.
No, I'm gonna
Ask
take.
the live
I'm gonna
audience
take the
people
idea.
what I should make. Or what
What's
I should
going
make.
on live, Andy?
86 people answering a bunch of polls, having a lot of fun.
Yeah.
All right, ask
any,
them.
any comments?
A bajillion.
A bajillion comments. Any
Are you
words?
filtering them right now? You don't want to read them to us?
Can you forward them to a Hotmail?
Conversation.
Yeah.
Can you read some of them? Is what we're asking.
Nothing right now. No.
All right.
Ask
Let me
them
just
about
repeat our eBay. We've got the More Than Dodgeball
exclusive
shirt.
limited edition shirts.
We've got
Blazing
5
gold.
choice of any books to any kid or volunteers you want personally signed.
If they're written by you. Otherwise, they're hard to get autographs from other people.
Well, we personally signed.
Maybe it's
didn't
your
have to say the author had to sign them.
I don't have a book.
That's true. To you with
And
love.
one
Love.
of Matt's science fiction books signed.
That's a great idea. Star Wars. Clearly. Don't you think? I'll sign it.
All right.
Yeah.
Wait,
I'll
Matt's
give a
book,
book,
you
I don't
sign
care.
it. Great.
You don't care.
Want
I
them
want
off
you
the
to
table?
care,
I've
Matt.
sold-
I want you to care.
I got to give something I care
I'd
about.
like
Yo,
you
the
to care.
Do you go
There's
back
no-
and
the
read
coat.
any of them?
He doesn't need the coat
Again?
anymore. It's
Ooh,
93
so-
degrees
the
outside.
coat.
Oh, the Seattle
coat.
jacket.
I
I
think
like
so.
the coat.
Oh, it's
Yeah?
great.
Yeah, it's a good coat.
What do you think? What do you think of that idea,
You
though?
don't need it for 8 months.
What do you think of that idea? Little sacrifice, helping
Yeah.
youth worker, hurting
I
youth
give
worker.
$20.
That will
You
be
give the
more than
coat.
his $20 donation.
You move into second place.
McGill,
Come on, think about it.
what do you think?
I don't care about the coat. We'll
Done.
give the coat. To
Okay,
him.
the coat's in.
coat?
Coat,
Exclusive
not
t-shirt.
goat.
Jana, what about
coat.
you?
Strong donation, yeah.
Anything?
Coachforgoats.com.
Okay, we got the coat.
What are you going to give?
I don't know. I don't
gotta
have
do it.
anything
You
that
gotta-
people want. What do I have?
Ultrasound? Ultrasound picture?
What?
What size is the coat? They want to know.
Oh, good question.
What
Big
size?
glass.
Wait, what size do you think it is?
It's extra small. What do you think? Come on.
Size.
No, 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 no.
2XL.
Fairly fat. FF.
It's from Casual Man, which means they don't start until
Fits nicely
size.
over muslin. Oh.
What did you say?
Oh,
Coat. Oh yeah.
All right, so Janet, what are you going to give?
That's what
What
I was
is-
going to make something for as a.
What are you going to give?
I don't know.
How about...
We'll figure it out.
That's what I was going to give as my craft.
Oh,
A little
brother.
basket for that.
But you have to make the basket. And this is only funny to the three of
I
us
know,
right now.
keep
We're
going.
writing notes like
Seriously.
5th graders. Okay. All right, let's end with this question.
Freshman right now.
Pastor Josh Riffle from Highland, Indiana. Being a youth and family pastor at a 200-member church, I get asked to do a lot of little things around the church. I really don't mind doing the little things, but it's beginning to take up time. I'm the head of the children's ministry and the youth and family ministry, so my time is valuable and limited. So I'm wanting to know, how can I tell the trustees of the church who ask me to do things, no, I can't, in a nice way? Thanks. You guys are the best.
We are the best.
Well,
We've had a lot of discussions about how to say no. I mean, obviously we're going to continue to
Absolutely.
repeat important messages.
The middle finger works.
What somebody said in the live show.
Did somebody say that in the live show?
no.
You could buy all the trustees a copy of What Matters Most when
Underline-
saying no is better than yes.
Underline the important parts and say, "Would you read this before you ask me?"
This
to
applies to you, moron.
The big picture is to Josh is it's never easy to say no. So we just got to admit that. I mean, especially when you feel like a trustee, somebody who, has some salary power, has some, judgment of your job. Yesterday I had a phone conversation with our executive pastor about an important meeting that I wanted to have either today or tomorrow, but those were his days off. He's taking 2 days off this week. And he said, well, how about Monday? Well, he knows, Monday's been my day off for 15 years. And I said, no, I can't meet on Monday. He says, well, everybody can meet on Monday but you. And I said, well, how about Tuesday? And I just didn't bend. Now, I was saying no in that situation. I mean, there are times when you just have to say no.
You said no for something that you really want and needed.
Oh yeah,
and
I'm driving
about.
a meeting. Yeah, it's the meeting that I want everybody to be there, and I think he was actually trying to leverage that a little bit by saying, hey, you're the one that's really
Right,
pushing for this.
You want it.
You think so?
Either way,
But
that's what was happening.
what about also going, okay, here's what's on my plate. Help me prioritize this so that,
So there can be a
That's
because
a
so
great
it
way.
comes from him, not
So to say what you're saying is say to the trustee,
Hey, I can do this for you, but I'm not going to be able to lead your son to Christ.
Well, what if it could be if we could bring a part-time person into the ministry, or if we could get an assistant, or if we could you use that ask to leverage to increase your
use
bandwidth?
that what?
ask.
Ask
saying?
to increase your
Well, you
bandwidth.
get a 200-person church, so chances are you're probably
Of
not
a
gonna-
higher, probably not.
Yeah. So Jana, how would you do it?
Well, just going, here's the list of things that are on my plate right now. Help me see what level of importance do you see these things in, so that they come from him and you follow
Right.
that then,
Yeah.
What
rather
can I say
than
no to?
Well,
so I
actually,
could say yes to that?
Matt's done that to me several times.
Totally.
You said, hey, I can do that.
But which of these other ideas do you want me to stop working on?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm always really nice.
Oh yeah. It takes me a lot of time to deal with that.
Recover from those.
But what
It's
else?
just me wasting all your time.
What else
though.
about saying no? I mean, that is one way to say, yeah, I can do that. The problem is I'm going to have to drop one of these 5 items.
You should stop and evaluate your current work. I don't want to say work ethic, but you should stop and ask yourself, can I do something better? Can I do something through somebody else? Can I do something faster? I mean, you should stop. I'm overloaded. Is there any way I can optimize the system? That's part of it. I mean,
so some
Right.
self-evaluation.
so
You're over
self-evaluation,
so much already.
I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, you're probably working hard. I mean, there's a small chance that you're not working hard and you need to stop playing whatever.
Video games. 3
Video
hours a
games.
night.
But I think if you do come
That's
up
not-
with,
that's not an issue.
yeah, that's not an issue. But I think
You
if
can
you
still be
do put
productive.
together your list and say, hey, help me prioritize here, I think part of that too is you got to make sure your heart's in the right spot, because if you're coming off bitter and smart alecky and you're like, well, just tell me what not to do. I mean, then that's like, that's no fun. Who wants to be on a team with that?
Yeah. So it's in how you ask for that. Now, there are some things that the trustee might ask, for example, that only, like I could never set up the Twitter account. Example, anything technological, I've got to come to you guys.
Could totally set
And
up
by
the-
you
Okay,
guys,
well-
you mean Andy or I? Says Matt.
Yeah.
Again, it's one of those.
Matt would explain to
One
me
of
how
the-
dumb. I'm still in therapy over, like, I was asking somebody for some computer help, and I start off.
Dude.
Here, let me
Wait.
finish.
Dude.
I
have
start
two
off
words.
by apologizing for how dumb the question is. He goes, "Oh, it's not a dumb question." I go, I just got to let you
Yeah.
know, I have worked so many
Who
years
was
with
this
McGill.
brown noser that we
I've-
were talking to?
I've worked so many years with McGill
Dawn,
where I'm just an
probably.
idiot for any question I
I've
ask
been so
related to
wounded by my
technology.
friend.
But the person might be able to only do, let's say this trustee says,
Who was that person that said that?
this trustee says, I don't know how to do this. Can you do this? And then maybe, if I really want that done, I would say as the trustee, hey, is there anything I can take off your plate to help you make that happen? Or your senior pastor, it doesn't just have to be a trustee, your senior pastor doing the same thing. I mean, the principle applies. It's not
And
easy to say no.
It's not easy to say no. I think also, too, is that you do have a few suggestions of, here's what I think I could drop. I mean, I think you
come to the
here's
table
you know
with
here's
something.
the list, and I think maybe it seems best for me to drop this, this, and this.
Don't
Yeah,
you think
but-
you have to start somewhere too? You have to start saying no somewhere along the line, because if you keep saying yes, I mean, one of the most difficult things to do is the first time you say no.
Yeah.
But I would argue you could become quite good at it. You
Yeah.
could filter really quickly. Is this central to my mission, to my purpose, to what I'm called to do, what I'm paid to do?
Well, I was just
and
gonna
filter it quickly, and then hand it off, delegate it, or say no outright within seconds. Once you get past this first time,
But
saying
most
no
of the
that's so
asks
hard.
come on the fly. They're not where you really can think through, okay, here's my suggestions of what
That's
I'll
great.
let go.
But that's what I was going to say, though. Be familiar with what your passions are and what your giftedness is, so that when that does come up, you say, you're like, I can do that, but that's going to take me a lot of time because I'm not so good at this, or,
Yeah, don't be mentally.
What
weak.
if you never said yes the first time anyone asked for anything, and you gave it
Then
time?
you're known as the moron.
But it
and you're not there very long.
Yeah, yeah. No,
I think
you can't
there's-
say.
But people
wanna-
ask you when you could be weak, you could be.
Yeah,
if
but
you could
I'm
say,
not
"Let's
sure
think
that's
about this for a little
realistic."
bit."
Yeah, I don't think that's
no,
realistic
then you're
either.
not a team player. If
I
your
think
first
so.
answers is wait or no.
No, and I love the answer yes.
I know you do.
I
know
really, really
You
do.
said, "Don't you think?" And I'm telling you what. I
Because
think.
Josh would say, yes, let me find somebody else to do that for you.
Exactly. I'll find someone to print off your emails. I'm just saying.
But
you
I
are,
think
Does not
also
even print
is-
the emails. Maybe that's why he doesn't want to get rid of it.
Yeah, I've delegated to somebody already. I have never printed an email.
You know what he does? He sits at his desk and he calls one of the interns and said, would you mind hitting print for me?
I did
Not the
do that, and I'm
interns,
sure they're
not the
watching,
interns.
so-
All right, let's do this. Let's
I'm sure they're
Andy,
watching.
let's send
sure.
let's send him a book, What Matters Most.
This guy?
Yep.
Cool.
And when no is better than yes. And send in any marriage questions to podcast at Simply Youth Ministry.
And we did get a couple this week. for
I've
your
got
show.
I think I've got 3 for the show, so it'd be nice to have 2 or 3
So
more.
we have a show next Thursday. We've got to get questions for it. Marriage and ministry.
Marriage and
questions.
family will,
Here
at
we
least
go.
will be me and Kathy.
So no
And Married
podcast
to a
tomorrow
Youth
for us.
Pastor, the blog is. She's getting like 15 to 20 comments per
Yeah.
post.
Married
well,
to a
maybe we can get
youthpastor.com.
some. Maybe we can get some questions off of that. Married to a youthpastor.com, and
It's a
I'm
good-
sure
Isn't
it's.
that Amanda's?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amanda's great.
Yeah, she's a good writer.
Some of her
She's a
posts
good
were
writer.
so strong.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
Awesome.
Anything else before we go?
Do we have a question for much better than more than dodgeball this week?
Yes, we will. I've got one right here. Just
Okay.
came
That's
in.
a
There we go.
Much more better than Dodgeball.
Who doesn't?
All right.
Here's the question right here from Dusty Smith.
I
Just
haven't
came
been
in.
getting very many comments.
Super.
on it. I don't really feel loved.
Well,
You
Matt,
can
why?
tell them
Wait,
why
are you
would-
reading it?
Why would people
or no?
want to comment though?
I'm just kidding. I'm okay.
Because if you get a
You're,
comment,
they're going to get killed.
Yeah, they're gonna go. Now you suck as a leader.
No, look at what's on there.
No, you're tougher on the podcast than you are in real life.
Yep.
Of course.
He's in a character right
This
now.
is totally
It's not
impersonal.
Stephen
character.
Colbert.
It's not character. I don't think it's character.
It's an
All I
amplification of
know
his
is
normal
that
self.
there was
He's
a
more
part of me that looked at Driscoll going,
He's
"Holy
more Stephen
smokes."
Hawking than he is. What?
Let's
Were
go
you-
back to the first podcast.
Did you have some
Look at
pastor
that.
envy? Did you have pastor envy? Did you want to be Mark Driscoll?
Dude, he is so free with his thoughts. It's unbelievable.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Dangerous, but very cool.
All right. Well, Jana,
See you guys.
The barely
Goodbye.
fettered thoughts of Matt.
Matt?
What's the question?
Josh.
It'll be
we're
on the
running out
blog.
of time.
Give it
It'll be
to
on the
him.
blog. Go to much
okay.
better than more than
Do
dodgeball.
we want to do
Go
it?
in. Oh, you're.
There.
Okay, we're done.
Okay. Bye.
Josh is leaving.